Brian Mbeumo is set for his Manchester United debut against West Ham tomorrow morning, 2 a.m. Mark the time. Wake up and enjoy the game because I won't tell you all the stories. Trust you me, I'll also be in my enjoyments because, guys, we've struggled 44 days of hoping and praying and puffing until the guy finally came. I'll tell you, if there is one player United has signed for post Alex Ferguson, and I'm so convinced he's going to be a hit, it is Brian Mbeumo. There is no part in me that feels like he could flop. I don't know about Cunha. Even Cunha, I don't think he would flop. But for Mbeumo, I'm more assured, just like I'm assured and I've assured so many of you who have been sharp and quick to come and learn how to earn, that you can grow your wealth from the internet. You can earn a lot of money from the internet. Regardless where you are or who you are, everybody can earn a lot of money from the internet. Life-changing money. This money is there for you, especially we Africans. This is the money that is supposed to get out of our poverty. If you understand, if all governments knew, I'm thinking, why would there be poverty in Africa? They would shut down the internet because Africans are no longer poor and they want us to stay poor. Guys, come and learn how to earn online because you'll be amazed by what this thing called the internet can do or what it's doing to people's lives, honestly. But let's get into it now. So Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo will be teaming up, hopefully, for the first time as Man United players in a game against a Premier League opponent, the first preseason tour game of the US at a 50,000 seater. Certainly you expect it to be a sellout crowd. Now 2 a.m. is the time you've got to be up and enjoying this one because we've waited and hoped for something exciting from Amorim, and the first signings, definitely the first marquee signings, are certainly going to be the epitome of it. They should be the example of what we should be destined for. Your first signings indicate where you're headed with your project. Now we want to see in this first game, these are the things you need to look out for in this game. Where is the excitement? First of all, they promised excitement. Have Cunha and Mbeumo, left-footed, right-footed, teamed up next to each other to form something exciting and magical and beautiful for the eye. First, look out for that. Cunha alone brought ace-ups of it if you've watched the previous friendly against Leeds. But how about now if they work together with Mbeumo? How do they complement each other? Because those two cannot be seen as looked at in isolation. They are seen together. They should be rated and looked at in twos, in the pair they are, because they are the two tens that Amorim has brought. Now we also want to see their excitement. How does it then make other players look? Because it cannot be all about them. It's not just about Cunha and Mbeumo and coming and stealing the show for each other, for themselves, and just exhibiting their skills and talent. No, it's about the team. How have their individual skills and brilliance boosted the team in terms of its team confidence? There are areas that United was clearly struggling in, maybe creating chances where we had grown to start creating them, but even barring the clinicality of the team, they were not clinical enough. Now, are we seeing these two players bring their clinicality that saw them score 15 and 20 goals respectively last season? Are they bringing that back? Look out for it, even in this game against West Ham. Very important. Look at how other players, players of potential, Ahmad and Bruno, because those are two of the other great players at Man United. How do they perform with two exciting individuals like that? How do they then also fall in? Because they could be, Cunha and Mbeumo could come and steal the show to the detriment of Ahmad and Bruno, and they just kill them. So this is now the unit. You're looking at the whole unit. Look out for that as you enjoy this game. Then when it comes to the striker, does Rasmus Højlund or Chido or whoever, whoever he starts leading the line, do they have the credentials to match what Cunha and Mbeumo bring so that they complement it and they form something magical in the final third? If not, then clearly a striker will be certainly have to be whisked in immediately. They might be dragging and dilly-dallying about it. They would certainly have to proper get us, because you don't sign two great number 10s and fail to bring the guy to complete them, the right 9 to complete them. So all these is now the work is beginning to be seen. I think this is the first proper game, or you look at and you say, now this is Amorim and Ineos identity. Let's see what it brings. Bruno on the ball. Amorim says he wants Bruno more on the ball. How does it work when Bruno is on the ball playing deep and has two great players ahead of him as the two tens and is the one taking the ball to them? Does Bruno perform if he's not the showman? Because even that could kill him. that there are two players who have come to steal the show, who have taken the shine off him. We know Bruno is a shine guy. He's the guy who just, I mean, the attention looks good on him, doesn't it? So what happens now if the attention is all on Cunha and Mbeumo? Is it going to kill him, or is it going to make him even better? So all that is what we want to see in this particular game. I think it's an important game for the project that Ineos are building. It's an important game for the fans to believe and buy into whatever they're doing. It's an important game to believe that the structure changes they have made were right, that they brought in the right people to spot the right players and bring them. But you should also look out for the goalkeeper. Who is going to be starting in between the sticks, and how will they perform? Because you want to have an idea of who they need to bring in immediately. Because 17th August is not so far. It's not so far from us. It's less than a month. Man United will be taking on this Arsenal team that's signing everyone and anyone they want. Everyone they need. Now I think they are going to Eze. So you want to see this and have a good idea of what this Amorim project is missing and what needs to be added to it and where it is. So for me, it's a good game. And there were reports that there are fears that maybe the Storms in the US could sweep the game away. We're hoping it doesn't happen, because we saw in the Club World Cup so many games were halted and postponed. Their training yesterday, I think, was Man United, that is, was postponed for about 2 hours. I mean, it's crazy because of the weather in certain parts of the US. But I mean, it's part of the game. You leave it the way they leave it there. That's why they go for these 2 hours and of course take it to these fans of theirs. So those are things you want to watch out for. I also want to see the intensity of the entire team. Has it increased? Has the intensity of the team stepped up? Because, again, we know that the Amorim system calls for intensity and robustness and explosiveness. Cunha and Mbeumo are that explosive, we know. How about the rest? The Kobis, whoever, the other rest of the players, do they have the confidence to play in that high intensity that the Premier League demands? Because you need to be comfortable on the ball to play intensely. If you feel me, if you know what I mean. If you're jittery, you cannot control the ball. You will lose the ball at every pass. And that was something painful to watch at times at Man United last season. How guys were losing the ball like they're not professional footballers. They couldn't pass a ball and stay with it and control it proper. It was so painful to watch. So all that is is going to be put out there for scrutiny. And each and every game going forward, you should be looking out to see which improvements have been made in this team. Because, yes, there are so many young players, new young players in the team, exciting players, teachable players. We feel this is a head coach, this is his pre-season, and this is the time where the work starts to be done for the world to savor and either stamp in or say, bring back Ten Hag. Hey, there are people who say, bring back Eric after 1 or 2 games. So it's going to be quite an important game. But that said, I think it's a good time now that finally we get to proper, I think, get into the mood for the season. Usually for me, before the season starts, what should I say? Nerves is a heavy word. I'm unsettled. Let me use that. I'm quite unsettled because I first want to get an idea. You see, when you watch the first weekend and see all the teams play, then you have a proper idea of where your team stands. I'm not quite yet sure. I'm not so worried about Man United, by the way. Whereas Arsenal, Liverpool, and we watched Liverpool and saw how they were beaten by AC Milan. But whereas they looked good, by the way. Florian Wirtz is God. But whereas City, all these teams have these players in. I luckily have confidence in the project at Man United. And even with just these 2 signings so far, I feel United actually will be okay. I think it has it in it. Like Amorim said, he trusts the players he has now. If he has to start the season with the players he has, he will be happy because every player he has wants to play for United. He wants to be there. And that's the most important thing. So I luckily feel we can really push. We can have a good team. But I first want to see how it starts. And even this preseason, of course, after watching Man United, then later in the day we'll be watching Arsenal. I mean, we're getting ideas and glimpses of these new signings and what they add and where you fall off or where you need to work. I mean, United is so far off all these clubs, but this is the game for me. I've been waiting for. It marks the start of this new era. Forget about Leeds United. West Ham, pre-season 2 of the US is what is on. Tomorrow at 2 a.m. Wake up, be alert, don't sleep, enjoy it from wherever you are, and trust you me, it will be one of those nights or early mornings that you will not forget, because it will be a good debut for Brian Mbeumo without a shadow of a doubt, and certainly their bromance is going to shine proper. Let's wait for it with an open mind. My name is Webb. Peace, love, and harmony. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, and let me know how excited you are about Kunya Mbeumo.